Hello, Merry Morning here, back with the second video that I promised on empaths, and I thought I would skip ahead to doing some tips for dealing with energies or how to release some of the energy that you've built up. Because right now seems to be a good time to do it. It seems like a lot of people are struggling. So let's start getting into protection and remedies that you can do to help alleviate if you're building up energy. So one of the first things, let's go from I've got my notes here, so in case you're wondering why I keep looking down, I'm going to attempt to be somewhat organized with this, but I don't know how it's going to go. So, let's start with some of the simple things that you can do, and I think most people do this, even if they don't consider themselves empaths. One of them would be get out in nature. So take some walks, maybe you mountain bike, maybe you hike, all of that, get out in nature. Walking around the neighborhood is awesome, but getting out into the woods where there are no houses and people is amazing. So if you can get out to your local park, nature reserve, all of that, and hug a few trees, that makes a huge difference. One of the things I like to do is I'll find one of these big trees, and I basically go up to the tree and I send anything that has been weighing me down, heavy energy, into the tree, and it can go down into the earth and then bring back up some clear light energy for me. It's definitely very grounding, just being out in nature, doing that little meditation with the tree, anything like that, it helps ground you, and that's one of the things that empaths need the most, is to ground themselves. So if you start to feel a little dizzy or a heavy feeling from some of the energy that you've been taking on recently, that's the first thing you want to do, is get out in nature and ground yourself. Even going out in the yard and going barefoot. Can't always do it in the winter, but still going and standing in the grass for a bit makes a huge difference. Next one would be meditation. So I like to do a daily meditation. I do a lot, but 15-20 minutes at the most. Let's say you're in the bath, you can do a nice meditation in the bath. Some people say they can meditate when they're in the car, or mountain biking, or walking, all of that sort of thing. But for me, I like to really sort of zone out and do a meditation. But it all depends on your time limits, so that's individual. But some sort of daily practice of grounding yourself, maybe doing a meditation where you're working with the chakras, where you send your roots down, and then you pull up the energy through your chakras, out the top, and then pull that energy back down through your chakras. That makes a huge difference. And you can do that fairly quickly. That could be a 10-minute, 5-minute meditation. It's pretty fast. Let's see. Next one would be salt baths or ritual baths, where you can use the herbs or different scents, or salt baths. They've got those bath bombs nowadays that you can just go and pop in your bath and you're all ready to go. Maybe put on a nice meditation video that has some sound therapy to it, like the 432 megahertz, or I think there's another one like 532, I can't remember. But there's quite a few of them on YouTube. All you got to do is type it in and say guided meditation or not, 432 megahertz, and you'll find a ton of them. There's lots of them. And that will help clear your mind. the salt in a bath certainly helps clear your aura. I think I remember reading about ritual baths back when, you know, I started reading Scott Cunningham. So this is a pretty old thing of cleansing your aura, cleansing your body, cleansing your mind space, you know, before you want to go and do a ritual, or before you want to go out and face the public, or maybe you've already taken on too much energy and you just want to cleanse yourself. So yeah, have a look into that. There's also really great books on psychic protection. Maybe I can do a separate video about that. We won't get into psychic protection so much as just sort of empath protection, but they are similar for sure. We'll talk about, let's see, there's crystals and protection amulets, or you know, doing the small pouch where you have put in maybe some crystals and some herbs and some oils, and you're going to wear that around your neck. You can do a little leather pouch where you can wear it all the time. Maybe you can put it in a little bag and put it in your bra if you're a woman. I do that a lot, so you know, take off the bra at night and then all these rocks fall out. You know? But yeah, I constantly wear crystals, so like black tourmaline, clear quartz, black onyx, any of the darker ones. Also, I can't remember the name of it, but the yellow one as well. I'm sure somebody will leave a comment. That one is good for cleansing your energy field as well. So there's stones, plus you can make a nice little protection amulet that maybe you put some intention into it to protect yourself, and charge it on the full moon, and then you can wear that bag or the necklace to help you out. We can talk about protection bubbles. So this is a good one. So it kind of relates to the same way when you went to go hug the tree out in nature and you're doing the chakra cleanse with that, as well as, you know, doing a meditation with your chakras. You can also do it with the bubbles. So, you know, same thing again. You want to send down your roots, ground yourself first, cleanse your chakras, and as you're going up, you want to expand that energy out from the top of your head into a huge bubble that you keep around you. My bubble normally is sort of an iridescent purple. That's kind of my go-to color. And I also like to include it reflecting back. So if, like, put up a mirror. So if you're out and maybe, you know, there's, you know, you cut off somebody and they're yelling stuff at you, that dark energy that they just sent you is going to reflect back on them. So it's nice to put up that bubble and protect yourself when you're out in public. And that is a super easy thing to do, is just visualization. If you find you're struggling with the visualization part, it's something you need to practice. It comes easier to some of us that are clairvoyant, but everybody can visualize a bubble around them. So work on that. It's one of the major components when it comes to doing intentional magic and that sort of thing, is visualization. So it's a key skill you want to work on. Let's see. Let's get into music, because music will lift your mood. Where I said, you know, the 432 megahertz and that in the meditations, those definitely help like cleanse, because you just can't really think about anything else when you're listening to them. It just kind of lifts everything off of you. Now, I'm a little strange in that I like dark music. So I know there's a lot of people out there that say, you know, oh, You know, don't listen to heavy metal music. Don't listen to, you know, grunge. Don't listen to gothic rock. None of that. Post-punk, you know, it's all so dark. Well, I say listen to whatever makes you feel good. And for me, that's heavy metal, gothic rock, post-punk, yeah, you name it. Like, I can put on Black Sabbath and I immediately feel zen. And I know that's not true for most people, but, you know, for me, you know, Black Sabbath is zen. So, yeah, get into music, you know, and have maybe those certain CDs, you know, when you start feeling that, that heaviness of the energy that you're getting. As an empath, you can put on that CD and you'll feel good. Let's see, time alone to recharge. So that's a big one for empaths. You know, there's a lot I see on the internet sometimes about, you know, introvert versus extrovert and how introverts like to be at home to recharge. And then, you know, there's also this saying of introvert and extrovert, so that, you know, when you go out, then you need to be at home and recharge, and that makes you an introvert. Well, I think it's just those people are empaths. They might have that extroverted personality, but they get worn out from all the energy they've given away, and they need to go home and recharge. And by recharge, I mean maybe a meditation, maybe watching a good movie, maybe listening to some good music, being at home with your loved ones, that kind of thing. You know, your pet. Oh my God, pets are amazing for empaths. You know, just petting my dog, you know, a few minutes can take off a lot of energy. And my poor little dog, she's an empath as well, so she constantly has anxiety. I've talked about this before. That poor dog is just a ball of anxiety and worry constantly. But I try to help her as well by, you know, doing some Reiki on her, or, you know, trying to calm her down. And so she helps me and I help her. Let's see. I think that ends the stuff that's sort of light. Well, one more thing. I think I might have mentioned in another video, but if you find that your energy is getting really built up, then you might want to go to a professional that does sound therapy, like singing bowls, or Reiki, to help you sort of move through that block. If you find that you cannot even sit down and do a meditation, that you are blocked and the energy is too heavy and you can't get rid of it, then going to a professional might help you get over that edge, and then you'll be able to do it on your own, you know, after a while. So you might need some help to get past that first block. So that's something that I will go and do. I have a friend that does Reiki, and I've been to one of those singing bowl things. There's somebody that does them here locally, and that was amazing. She definitely opened up some blockages for me that day. So we'll step into some of the harder things, because these are more things that you're going to have to really put some work into. And but these are the things that really make the difference when it comes to being an empath and not taking on people's energy. These are actually the key things to do. Like those, you know, the stuff about crystals and bubbles and all of that will take off temporarily. It will help relieve it. But these are long-term things that are actually going to make a huge difference for you. And the first one is shadow work. I know some of you out there are like, oh no. So what is shadow work? Shadow work is facing your fears. you know, digging in deep and facing some of those fears that are really stuck. Right now in this energy that we've got going on with the Lion's Gate, it's a good time to face fears. It's not always something you can do on your own. For me, I took a year-long course on doing shadow work called the Great Work, and I'm pretty much a different person since I've done that. I've learned to release a lot of old patterns that kept me stuck. I've also learned to sort of figure out where I go wrong so that I don't end up going down those roads that lead me to some negative places or some dark places. So that's what I mean by shadow work, is really get to know yourself. That is key, and it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be quick. So the next one would be speaking your truth. So that goes along with facing fears, speaking your truth. A lot of us empaths like to be people pleasers, where we will, you know, do whatever we can to avoid any sort of dark emotions because we feel it so deeply. We want to make people happy constantly. And, you know, we'll say whatever we need to say or do whatever we need to do to keep people happy. And that might mean never saying no or, you know, constantly people pleasing. And that in itself is a really bad spot to get into. You don't want to get into that spot. So it might be difficult to say no or to face your fears and speak your truth. Like if you don't want to do something or, you know, don't want to talk about a topic that you don't want to talk about. In the long run, it's worth it to speak your truth and push past that barrier. That is definitely fear-based. That's, you know, because a lot of us worry about what the outcome will be, and we'd rather take the easy road and make everybody happy than say what we really want to do. So speaking your truth and stepping outside of that is a big one, and that takes a long time. That takes a long time to master. That's not something you're going to do right away. That's why I say some of these are hard work. The next one would be, and I think I've mentioned this in another video as well, is to step out of your head space and step into your heart space. So feel, I mean, for us empaths, that should be easy to do, but this is where empaths end up going into the dark space, or you know, those that are unaware, those that are unawake. This is the not awake. This is where they go wrong, is they're thinking too much. They're overanalyzing, you know, the what ifs and all of that. They're not following what they're feeling, because they should have really strong instincts when it comes to, you know, where they need to go and what they want to do. You should be able to feel it very easily. You should be able to read people very easily, and quite often your first instinct, that first flash that you get as an empath, is the right one. So stop trying to talk yourself out of it. Doesn't mean that you need to tell that person at all. Just, you know, absorb it, know what it is you're feeling, and then go according to that. Stop talking yourself out of it and making it sound rational, because being an empath or clairsentient is not rational. That's thought. That's mental. Being an empath or a clairsentient is feeling through the heart, feeling other people's energy fields. So if they might be saying one thing to you, but you're feeling something else. So you need to follow that instinct of what you're feeling. You don't need to tell them what it is. You don't need to confront people. You know, if you come across somebody that's lying to you, you do not need to confront them. You just need to know what it is and make your decision for yourself according to that. So follow your gut instinct, follow your heart, then you stay true, and you're not going to get all this, what I call like residual dark energy. It's like karma that builds up over, let's say you decide, something comes along where they've offered you, something that they'd like you to do, or, something like that, and you really don't want to do it. But you know that it would make them happy if you did it. So you do this little game in your head where, I don't know if I want to do that or not, but okay, yeah, I'll do it. And then the entire time you're just beating yourself up because you didn't follow your instinct. And let's say somewhere down the road, that turns into this toxic thing down the road, where this person basically, can figure out that you don't want to do it, and then that you're doing it out of a sense of, responsibility, I guess, put it that way. They know that. They can figure that out, and they're feeling that, and you're thinking, I just don't want to do that. Speak your truth and say, I don't want to do it from the beginning. Follow your heart. Follow your gut instinct that told you this is not a good idea. Maybe back when that first conversation happened, you thought, I don't know about that. Yeah, that's what you need to listen to. Not go, well, it would be nice if I did that. It would make them happy if I did that. All these thoughts, that's mental. The first gut reaction of going, oh, no, that's not right for me. I really don't want to do that. That's the correct one. So learn to spot it from the moment, the get-go, because that way you can avoid all that other stuff that will come up. Because when you start getting into when you take on something that you didn't want to do, that's when, some of the laws of vibration and all of that start stepping in and sending you strange things to tell you, law of attraction, to tell you that you're on the wrong path. That's how it starts. That's how you end up in that spot where you're like, how did that happen? It happened way back when that decision was made, when somebody asked you to do something that you really didn't want to do, and to be nice, you said, oh, I'll do it anyways. That's when it happened. They didn't do it to you. You did it to yourself way back when. That took me a while to figure that out. In fact, I'm still working on that one. So follow your instinct, follow your gut, follow your heart. That's really important and not always easy to do. But as an empath, you really got to work on that. So, I'm sure there's more things, but I'm going to end it there. Maybe there will be more. We'll see. But those are the major key things. Let me just go over them again. So get out in nature. Go for a walk. Do some meditation. Do some salt baths or ritual baths on a regular basis to clear your energy field or your aura. Wear some protection, either in an amulet or stones or anything like that. Or maybe just, like a little necklace. Maybe you've charged it to protect yourself. Music that can soothe you and take away some of the heavy energy of the day. Take some alone time to recharge and do some of the things that were up above. That's your alone time to do that, to recharge. And don't feel guilty about it either. Speak your truth. That's a big one. Do the shadow work. That's a big one. Step into your truth. That's a big one. And if you feel stuck, consult a professional and do some sound therapy or Reiki. So that's where I am. That's where I'm going to lead off. Because that's a lot of work for you to do. If you haven't done any of those, start working on that, and I guarantee that you empaths out there will see a huge difference when you start doing some of those things. So that's it. I'll end it there. Thank you, everyone, and blessed be.